Hello and welcome to this match review of West Ham 1, Southampton 0. Now, we're going to start off by just looking at the table real quick, and it's not looking good, bruv. We're 3 points in, with basically every team having a game in hand, so, whether they win or not, it's a massive difference. We could potentially, if results go a certain way, be even 4 or 5 points in relegation, with only 9 games left, so it's not exactly looking good. So that loss is massive. It is a massive loss, and I said it in the preview, we just don't turn up when it matters. Like, we don't. Spurs, we turn up, draw 3-3, come back, brilliant. United play brilliantly, 0-0, okay, fine. Chelsea, beat Chelsea away from home. Leeds, play shocking. Brentford, play shocking. West Ham, play shocking. The games that really matter, picking up points around teams around us, we can't do. We can't even do anything. But we're happy to perform against Spurs, Chelsea, United, no issue. Fantastic stuff. Those games don't particularly matter. They're bonuses. They add on to the points you take off other teams. But if we're losing to Leeds in a 6-pointer, losing to West Ham in a 6-pointer, but then we beat Chelsea, it doesn't fucking matter. Leeds have already stolen 3 points off us. West Ham have already stolen 3 points off us. That's not good enough. It's straight up not good enough. And honestly, I'm not exactly surprised by the performance, because obviously we've seen them play all year. But the main issue is that I think I've finally turned to the point where I actually look at the table. Yeah, we're 3 points in, right? 3 points in relegation. But I look at the table and just think, we're not going to stay up. We're not. When we look at the table, you get sort of the fake optimism, the fake hope, and going, 2 wins and we're out. And then you watch the performances and you're just thinking, how is this team even 3 points in? We should be 10 points in. We're fucking awful. We are absolutely shocking. We're a shocking team. We have no structure, which, yes, is understandable why we don't. Ralph leaving, Jones coming in, his disaster class. Now Sellers is chucked in the deep end. Like, I understand there's no structure and stuff, but it's like, you get to the point where, without structure, without a style of play, without an identity, we don't have the players to get us points. We don't have players that can go out there and get a goal from nothing, to play a defensive masterclass. We don't have any players like that. Previous season we've been in a relegation battle, notably the Mark Hughes season and the Pellegrino season. Tadic. We had Dusan Tadic to carry us. Who do we have this season? Ward-Prowse? Well, if it's not a free kick, he's not going to score. Like, it's outrageous how bad we are. I was planning on doing a play ratings, going for everyone and thinking, yeah, he did this, he did that, yeah. But I honestly don't see the point, because I honestly couldn't name any of the starting 11 that played well. Players that you would expect play well. Walker Peters normally always has a good game, whether the team does or not. Same with Lavia. Normally a centre-back plays well. Maybe Zunu has a good game. Maybe, Thea Walcott might pop up with a good performance. Everyone was shit. Everyone was bad. And I've seen people come out, players and the manager and stuff say, we controlled the game. I think there's a real difference in controlling a game because we have the ball, and controlling the game because we stifle them so much they cannot attack, and we are creating chances. That's what I call controlling the game. Not because we're passing around their box, passing sideways, passing backwards. That's not controlling a game. How many times did West Ham counter, and if they had just had a little bit of quality, they would have absolutely rinsed us. Absolutely rinsed us. West Ham have brilliant players. They have Bowen, Danny Ings can score goals for fun. They've got Paqueta, they've got Bedrama. They've got players. Really good attackers. And you could see why West Ham are struggling, because they did not take advantage of the chances that they had to really hit us on the break. They had Ings having one-on-ones. They had Benrahma getting forward, Paqueta getting forward. They had Bowen getting forward, obviously hitting the crossbar. If they were just clicking a little bit better, we would have been absolutely rinsed. Then do we still control the game? Are we still then controlling the game? No. Controlling the game is literally making the opposition struggle to do anything, whether that's attack or defend. No, controlling the game is not passing sideways. It is not passing around their box. It is not fucking around with the ball. That is not controlling a game. So I'm not going to do player ratings, because it's pretty obvious most players were shit. I think the substitutes, I think at half-time we needed to force about 3 of those players off. They were absolutely dreadful. But of course, we stuck with it. At least we didn't stick with it till the 60th and then 65th minute. So maybe there's a positive there. But in terms of the half-time subs, they should have happened instantly. We should have brought off Elanusi, Stuart Armstrong, and my brain would work, Sekumara. Those 3 needed to be off after 20 minutes. Awful. Absolutely awful. And this will get me to my next point here. Transition. Do you think Salah's got it wrong? It's just a question I'm going to ask you because obviously everyone has their perspective, everyone has their opinion. And I'm just going to ask you, do you believe Salah's got it wrong today? Right? And we're not going to blame Salah because he's been absolutely stitched up. He's been chucked in the deep end. They had a chance to hire a proper manager over the World Cup break. They pulled in an absolute muppet. And then he proceeded to do shit. And then he's been chucked in because they couldn't find anyone else. So I don't blame Sellers. I don't have any beef with Sellers. I mean, Sellers, he talks well. He clearly has a passion and he clearly has a confidence. Fine. You know, I don't blame him. I don't get upset with him. It's whatever, right? He's been stitched up. He's been chucked in the deep end. But you still have to criticise where criticism's due, right? So I ask you again, do you think you got it wrong? And now I'll explain my perspective, okay? We're going into a game against West Ham. We have a couple injuries. Balakotchap's out. I think Salazar was out as well. I think Che Adams was gone as well. So that's 3 players you'd probably, maybe not Salazar because Benrick will probably start, even though I don't personally want that. But that's probably 2 main starters, right? Okay, that's unlucky. It is what it is, right? But then, having a front 4 against West Ham, a game that is so unbelievably crucial, a massive 6-pointer. We only have about 3 or 4 games that we would claim as winnable. You know, you don't expect to beat Brighton. You don't expect to beat Liverpool or Man City or Arsenal. But the games against Palace, games against Nottingham Forest, the games against West Ham, those are winnable games. The games we have to target for points. And we've decided a starting 11 of Theo Walcott, which is completely understandable because he had a good game against Tottenham, and he's had a couple good games here and there, so I'm happy with him starting. No issue. And then we get to the other 3. Sekou Mara. Now, I love Mara. I think he does have technical talent. I think he could be good in the future. But he's not. He's not good right now. He's not going to score goals. He's not going to create chances. He's not going to hold up the play. Why is he in the team? Now, I said in my preview I wouldn't be surprised if Sekou Mara played because he's similar to Adams in some regard. But he's not going to score goals. We need to score goals. Big Paul has to play. We bought him for like 18 million. But yeah, let's just put him on the bench even though Che Adams is injured. Oh, Mara, you've scored so many Premier League goals, it's crazy. You're basically Erling Haaland this season. Oh, no, Paul, you've scored some goals in the last 6 months. Oh, fuck off. Oh, it's Belgium, mate. It's Belgium. Piss off, mate. It means shit all. It's ridiculous. Now, second one. We'll get to the star of the show after. Stuart Armstrong. Now, I think Stuart Armstrong's been a good player for us over the last 3-4 years under Ralph especially. He was really good, right? And I thought he was a very crucial player. This season, I know it's been a mix of injuries and whatnot, but he's not good enough. His decision-making is atrocious. His ability to keep possession is atrocious. His ability to create chances is atrocious. There was a chance, I remember it very vividly because I was pissed off about it, where Stuart Armstrong picked up the ball on the right side of the penalty area and he has Theo Walcott as a 45-degree angle for pass back. Yes, it's not, it's a tap-in, but it's a chance, right? You lay it off Theo Walcott, he just blasts it, deflects, maybe goes in, maybe get a corner. You know, heaps of things could happen, right? He deflects to someone else at the edge of the area, he has a shot. Oh, it deflects past the keeper fucks it up, it's too small of an angle, you know, stuff like that. But no, let's dink it back post to our massive 6'7" striker in Sekou Mara. No, he wasn't even close to the ball, and it was just like, holy Jesus, is this our creativity? Is this our final third ability? It's fucking atrocious. So Stuart Armstrong was awful. Next, moving on. The GOAT. The Norwegian Messi, they say. Moi Elanusi. Oh, what a player. Oh, he's exhilarating to watch. I cannot believe this guy is still in the starting 11. How many times has he played in the starting 11 and been fucking shit? And I can't believe some of the people that I saw saying he played well. Are you taking the piss? What did he do? Nothing. And it's not exactly solely his fault that we were shit. You know, I'm saying Mara and Stuart Armstrong were awful as well. But he did nothing. And he's done nothing for years. He's never been good. He's never been a period where I thought Elanusi's playing well, because he hasn't. He never has. He's been absolutely dreadful. So this is why I'm saying Sellers has got it wrong in some regard. Because we have no attacking threat, and, the commentators are normally criticised because they're normally stupid, but they said it basically perfectly. We're absolutely toothless. We have no bite. We have nothing going forward. Absolutely nothing. We just, all of us, I guess, watched Southampton for 90 minutes do fucking nothing. And how many times can we say we've watched that? A lot. A lot of times. Yeah, most of the season. We are absolutely dreadful going forward. And the fact that he started those front three, right, is dreadful. It's mind-blowing that that's the team he's put out. How Sulemana has not started is mind-blowing. As soon as he comes on, he adds a bit of just direct attacking, pacey, I'm going to take you on. And as soon as that happens, we did get a couple of half opportunities where it's sort of like, maybe if it just broke a little bit luckily for us, maybe we could have got something. But before him, what were we doing? Controlling the game, apparently, by passing the ball around for the whole time and not actually doing anything. Pressure isn't passing the ball around someone's box. That isn't pressure. Pressure is constantly pushing the defence around to the point where they are always a man short on something. Or they're like, oh shit, they've got to play over here, and then they're panicking, they're rushing over there, oh shit, now it's on the other side. Obviously, look at Man City when you think of that sort of thing, but obviously we're not at the level of Man City. But when you watch Man City play, they're controlling the game because their position around the box is moving the opposition constantly. They can't be stationary. They always have to move, and that creates gaps. When we are passing around the box, I wouldn't be surprised if they moved a centimetre, because we're not doing anything with the ball. We're not creating anything. We're not actually stretching the opposition. We're not doing anything in that regard. So, yeah, that's my frustrations with that. So I've just done a little bit of research for some stats for you. So from the front four that played, Mara, Walcott, Moya Lanusi, and Stuart Armstrong, out of those appearances for us in the last 3 seasons, obviously some have only been here for 1 season, 2 seasons, blah, blah. Well, let's just say 200 games played with a solid, mind-numbingly amazing 15 goals and 15 assists. That's spread across 4 players. 4 players. And that's the front four we've trusted. We've not looked at, Newman and Sulemana, who's been actually good, but, lacking the end product, but he does create, right? Same with Edozie. I'm a big advocate for Edozie. He's very X-Factor-like. He's very direct. He's very quick, very, very skillful. Yes, no assists and stuff have happened, which is unfortunate, but he is young. He does create, like Sulemana. They're sort of similar players. They can beat players and create sort of opportunities for the team, but we can't seem to really do anything with that. And I think a majority of that problem is the strikers don't particularly do anything. So that's that issue. And then obviously with 15 assists. So that's the front four we've gone for in a massive game. Obviously understand Adams is out, right? That's unfortunate. But we do have a striker who, yes, has played about 3 games for us, in Big Paul, who actually hits the crossbar as well, who surprisingly actually scored goals in Belgium. Yes, it's Belgium, Belgium's not the Premier League, but he has 3-4 months ago been scoring goals. So why is he not involved? And I understand maybe he doesn't fit the system, that's fine. Build a fucking system around him. That's the point of a striker. There's no point having a striker in a system that doesn't work for him. You have to, you want to score goals. Right, the way to score goals is basically creating chances for your front players. So if we have a guy who's scored goals in other countries, comes in for 18 mil, whatever it was, 20 mil, I can't remember. You sort of adapt to them. That's the whole point. And I understand Adams, he does a lot of work around for the team. He's a hard worker. He holds up the ball well. He can create, fine. But he doesn't score. Mara doesn't score. Moya Lanusi doesn't score. Armstrong doesn't score. Walcott doesn't score. They don't score. Why are we going into a game, that's a 6-pointer, massive game, with no players who can score? Our massive issue, which everyone knows, is goal scoring. We brought in Sulemana, we brought in Big Paul, we brought in Alcaraz, we brought in Orsic. None of them are playing. Oh, yes, we bought these bloody bastards in January, but no, Elanusi, Stuart Armstrong and fucking Mara, that's the go-to. You're taking the piss. You're taking the piss out of me right now. How, like, Orsic, yes, he's been bad against, you know, I think he played against Grimsby. I barely watched that game because obviously I was busy. But I heard he didn't play very well, right? And he hasn't exactly set the world alight. But neither is Elanusi. Neither is Armstrong. Neither is Mara. Crazy. It's as if, like, he's new and you might want to adapt him. Same with Big Paul, same with Sulemana. These boys are new. We need them to get up to speed. There's a reason we spent money on them. Surely there's a reason. Surely there's a reason. Surely we didn't buy 4 players in January who were supposed to be our new attack and proceed to be Elanusi's better, Armstrong's better, Mara's better. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, oh, brilliant stuff. You've taken the piss out of me. And how Alcaraz isn't starting is another fucking thing we're going to talk about. That front four was bad enough. The fact we played a two-man midfield, and did not play Alcaraz as a free is fucking mind-blowing. Alcaraz has been decent. He's been pretty good. He's actually been a midfielder we've been screaming out for, a bit of a number 10. And he's scored twice? Believe it or not, if my maths is correct, he's scored more goals in about 5 or 6 games than the entire front four we fucking played. Oh, brilliant. We don't want to score goals. Who would want to score goals? It's pointless. It is what it is. It is what it is. We're moving on. Yeah, that's just what I want to explain, that we're playing these guys over players that can score. But anyway, it is what it is. We should have played a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1, any variation of that. Free midfield of Lavia, Ward-Prowse, Alcaraz with a front three of Sulemana, Big Paul, and Theo. That should have been our fucking team. It shouldn't be difficult to understand that that's our best team. And yeah, moving on. It's just the same shit every week. We're fucked. We're relegated. There's nothing that I see when I watch Southampton play that convinces me we can do fucking anything. Style of play doesn't exist. Identity doesn't exist. Structure doesn't exist. Defensively, we are still pretty bad. Not as bad as probably Jones. Well, that's not difficult. But we're still not very good, right? Caldecott also should have been sent off if you wanted to know that. That was definitely a double yellow, but it is what it is. Moving on. That's the team that would potentially have caused West Ham some trouble. Having Big Paul sort of put his weight around in the up front, with the centre backs. But no, let's just kick it to Mara, who couldn't even take a touch, couldn't even pass the ball. But yeah, let's play him behind for Walcott, who's not that fast anymore, to cross it to no one in the box. But he couldn't even cross it to anyone in the box because he just kicked it straight at the keeper. Elanusi, who can't do particularly anything with the ball, same with Armstrong. But yeah, let's play them. Brilliant stuff. So I'm going to just fucking end that there because I'm probably going to go on for the next hour just fucking ranting about this shit. But it's safe to say that our journey in the Premier League is very, very, very close to finishing, which is really fucking annoying. It's really pissed me off that we've even come to this stage. It's been 5-6 years of fucking dross, and we've never particularly come out of that. We've had the odd season under Ralph where it's sort of, no. Straight back to shit the next year. Which is not entirely his fault. It was more the board and the lack of quality players, signings and whatnot. But yeah, I honestly don't see us staying up. I think I've sort of accepted that. There's a reason why I don't particularly get mad when I watch us play when we play shit, because it's expected. You only get mad at teams, you only get mad at your team if you're expecting them to win or expecting them to do this or that, and they don't do that, so you get mad, you're like, blah, 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 blah. But when you go into a game against West Ham, expecting them to lose, expecting them to play shit, and they did exactly that, you can't exactly be mad because you expect it to happen. So that's why I'm not particularly mad. I'm kind of annoyed, maybe frustrated, but I'm not mad because there's no point being mad at something you expect. But anyway, that's it. That's this video. Next game is City. Can't fucking wait. We're going to get dick 7-0. Maybe 9-0. It could be it. That's me done. I'm pissed. Yep. See you boys in the next video. Like, subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you for the next game, I guess. Bye.